Good evening again, everyone. I'm from a city that has its arms open to all colors, all races, all ethnicities, ages, and sexual orientation. A city of immigrants. A city that fights for health care for all. A city that, in spite of this administration, fights for its residents and for the residents of this country. Tens of millions of people have come to this city, a city where 32 Latino nationalities reside. From the days of Ellis Island until today, the Statue of Liberty still stands tall in our harbor as a symbol of freedom and prosperity for the entire world. The person I am here to introduce to you is a friend of LULAC and mayor of this great city, who has fought for our open door tradition and continues to fight for our open door traditions. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to introduce the mayor of La Gran Manzana, Mr. Bill de Blasio.
Thank you so much, Raulina. Thank Raulina for her leadership. And Domingo, thank you for your great leadership of LULAC. And LULAC, thank you for all you do, because we need LULAC more than ever, don't we? We need LULAC in this country because there's a fight ahead for the heart and soul of this country. And we are a good country, aren't we? Filled with good people. People who actually want to work together to create something better. We are all in this together, exactly right. And by the way, if you want to believe in this country, just remember the story of Kendrick Castillo. Doesn't that make you believe that people can do great things? We miss him, but we honor him. And the whole Castillo family, give them a round of applause to thank them for all they stand for. Raulina told you I come from a city with almost 3 million Latino residents. The largest Latino city in the United States of America. The most immigrants of any city in the United States of America. By the way, the safest big city in America. The most prosperous city in America. And a city that is learning to have more and more harmony. And this is what we have to understand in this country. That this country of so many different people can come together and create something greater. And if you want an example, come to New York City. I always say, if you want to realize that humanity can actually work it out, just get on a subway car in New York City and you will see every part of humanity together, every faith, every ethnicity, and everyone manages to get along one way or another. So, what does the President of the United States think that we need in his hometown on Sunday? What does he think will improve our situation in the nation's largest city? He thinks we need ICE raids. I have a phrase I use for the president. I call him Con Don. He is the con-mander-in-chief. Because he does these things to trick us. He does these things to divide us. There is no purpose for ICE raids. It is not about making the country safer. It's not about upholding the law. This is a political act by this president. Let's be clear, it is a political act, just like sending troops to the border was a political act to divide us. This is a conscious strategy, and none of us are fooled. We are not fooled by his cons or his tricks. We will be the ones to unmask it, and we will be the ones to change it. Because here's the bigger truth in America, and I said this from the debate stage in Miami. Look, what is this president and what are so many others like him trying to do? They're trying to create a wedge in America. They're trying to tell American citizens who are feeling economic duress, folks who are struggling paycheck to paycheck, folks who feel like the American dream didn't work out for them, middle-class people, working-class people. Trump is trying to tell them that the immigrants caused all their problems. This is the lie and this is the trick. Tell them the immigrants caused all their problems. But the truth, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, the truth is that those in power created that reality for working Americans. Wall Street created that reality. The big corporations created that reality. It wasn't the immigrant working on a farm or working in a kitchen. They didn't do that to you, middle-class America. They didn't do that to you, working-class America. And when we uncover that truth and remind working people of how much they have in common, we can actually start to work together, shoulder to shoulder, for the changes we need in this country. Now, I will tell you, change is coming in this country. I'm running for President of the United States because I know we can make change in this country. I know we don't have to live this way. Do you agree we don't have to live with all this division and hatred? Do you agree? This is not the American way. It does not have to be this way. Donald Trump said he wanted to make America great again, but what he has done is make America hate again. That is what he has actually done. And we were not meant to be a hateful nation. We were not meant to be a nation one against the other. In fact, e pluribus unum, the whole idea from the founding of the Republic, we knew people came from many different places and faiths and ethnicities, and the Founding Fathers knew we could be one nation nonetheless, and we have been. We have been and we will be again. And if you need a little inspiration, if you need to believe change can happen, I'm going to tell you about something that's happening right now in my city, largest city in the country. I'm chief executive of the most diverse place on earth, and guess what we've been able to do? Give everyone opportunity, everyone respect. Our children, who we all should value in common, we have given every child pre-K education for free in New York City. LULAC, you represent every corner of this country. If you want to empower Latino families, if you want to uplift Latino children, don't you think pre-K for free should be in every part of the United States of America for these wonderful children? Don't you believe our values tell us every child should start at the same starting line, their full God-given potential, there for the taking? Isn't that what we believe in? Well, it's happening in the nation's largest city right now. Don't we believe that people have a right to health care, that it's a human right? Don't we believe that for all our people? Guess what we're doing in New York? We're not waiting on Washington, D.C. People in this room don't wait on Washington, D.C. You do it yourself, don't you? You make things happen in your community. We in New York City now are guaranteeing health care for anyone who doesn't have insurance. We are guaranteeing a primary care doctor, guaranteeing that they can get everything they need, because we can't watch people suffer because our nation doesn't have universal health care. And we have opened the doors of health care wide, because the last place anyone should go for health care is where millions and millions of Americans, Latinos, and every community, millions and millions of Americans have only one doctor, and that doctor is called the emergency room. And that is the last place anyone should go for health care. Don't you agree? We need to end that in the greatest country in the world, and we can. And I'm going to give you one more example of something we're doing right now in New York. This country is the only industrialized country in the world, the only nation like this in the world that does not respect working people enough to say, you actually should get some time off each year. You actually should get some time for yourself and your family to recharge. In New York, we're passing a law this year guaranteeing every working person 2 weeks paid vacation every single year. Do you want that in your community? Do you want that in this whole country? We can have that. And listen, these are the things that will move people to get involved, to come out and vote, to participate, Think about all the people you represent. Think about the fact that if they knew that we could have pre-K for our children, we could have universal health care, we could have paid vacation time, that we could have a country that actually rewards work again, think of how much it would motivate people and energize them to vote and participate and change this country. So I'll conclude with this. You know how lots of elections we hear candidates say, this is the most important election of our lifetime? You've heard that one before? My friends, this is actually the most important election of our lifetime. We actually got there. This is the one. And everyone in this room needs to be an agent of history. This is a room full of change agents, difference makers, organizers, mobilizers, inspirers. Everyone in this room has to ensure that everyone comes out to vote in 2020 for change in this country. And if all the people you represent believe change can happen, and I say this as a proud Democrat, if they believe that the Democrats are the party of working people again, if they believe the government could actually put working people first again, if they believe the government could actually be on their side again, you will see the greatest turnout that we have seen in generations in the United States of America. We can do that together. We can do that together. So my message to Condon is, we're quite finished with you. By the way, you're not welcome back in New York City. I just want that on record, too. We don't need you in New York City. We don't need your ICE raids in New York City. We just want you to leave New York City alone. We want you to leave every city alone, every town alone, every county alone, every state alone. Go to Russia where you'd be more at home. And here in the United States of America, we will create a country for everyone again. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you for all you do. Good night.